It may feel like every time you look through a magazine or you see an ad on the internet, it looks like a different credit card that has rewards that are practically being given away for free. You have sign-up bonuses, upgrades, extra bonus miles, multiple times cash back, etc. And it can be really tempting to pursue these different offers, and sometimes they could make sense for you. But as with anything else related to your personal finances, you're going to want to make sure you take a step back to make the smartest decision possible. In this video, you'll learn about the key factors to consider when you're choosing a credit card. So in that way, you can evaluate your existing cards and potentially keep them in mind when you're exploring new cards in the future. We're going to walk through some common considerations, such as how you spend your money, how you plan to use the cash back or the rewards, fees, and interest rates. Before we dive in, for context, my name is Brian Walsh and I lead the financial planning team here at SoFi. Our team works with thousands of members, just like you, on all things related to their personal finances. Even though I'm a certified financial planner, it's important to note that nothing I talk about in this video should be looked at as financial advice. Think about it more as high-level education or guidance related to this particular topic. As you start thinking about how to choose the right card, it might make sense to start by thinking about how you spend your money. Many essential expenses that we all have, such as mortgage, rent, car payments, or loan payments, aren't even going to allow you to pay by credit card. So it's typically best to think about all of the other expenses in which you can actually pay by credit card. You can review the last few months worth of spending and then also think ahead for the next 6 to 12 months. Are there going to be any particular outliers? Do you do most of your shopping online at one specific retailer? Do you spend a ton of your money on gas? Is dining out your biggest discretionary expense? Do you travel on a regular basis? These are all the types of questions you can ask yourself as you are evaluating your spending. When it comes to travel spending, it's also important to go a step deeper, since most of the value for airline and hotel branded cards comes from earning bonus points when you spend on that particular brand. For example, you may get 3 to 5x points on an airline card when you buy with that specific airline. And if it's not a brand that you use regularly, you may be losing out on one of the biggest benefits of that specific card. Once you understand your spending, then you can review which card aligns best with your overall spending habits. It is really important to pay attention to how those rewards points are earned, because many could have relatively narrow categories that may only capture a small percentage of your overall spending. So unless you have high amounts of spending in those targeted categories, it might be best to explore cards that have a simpler and more broad way to earn points. Next, you want to think about how you plan to use your rewards for your cash back. Will you use your cash back to reduce your balance every single month? Do you have any other goals like saving, investing, or paying down debt that you're going to apply that cash back towards? The concept of cash back is relatively simple, but identifying where that cash is going to go might have an impact. For example, if you plan on putting the cash back to work by investing or even paying down specific types of debt, then it might lead you to cards that offer a better redemption in those specific areas. For rewards, you should plan to compare the options by converting the value of the rewards to cash. For example, how many miles would it actually require to buy a $200 plane ticket? By using that one universal value to measure the benefit of each of the different cards, you'll be able to more accurately compare your options and then ultimately see if you have the opportunity to earn more with one card over the others. If you do choose a travel rewards card though, you want to make sure that you choose a brand that you use on a regular basis. It might be tempting to go with a card that's offering the most generous sign-up bonus, but if it's an airline that doesn't even have a hub in your preferred airport of choice, then you're going to have a really hard time to actually gain the value from those miles. Finally, you want to think about interest rates and fees. Not every reward card comes with an annual fee, but most do. And rewards cards often come with much higher APRs than non-rewards cards. So you're going to want to be conscientious about how much it's actually costing you to have that card and ultimately earn those rewards to factor these both into the calculations. So you may find that the annual cost between fees and interest is as much or even more than the rewards that you'll actually earn from it. If that's the case, then you might want to continue looking for a better option. Also, when it comes to interest, rates on credit cards are typically higher than many other types of debt. That's why it's a good idea to pay off your credit card in full and on time every single month. That's going to help you avoid paying interest as well as additional fees. If you do carry balances from one month to the next, then the interest rate on cards becomes a much more important factor in your analysis because it'll impact your costs. So bringing it all together, start by looking at your spending. If you have some outlier categories, then it might make sense to explore options that reward spending in those specific categories. Whereas if your spending seems to be spread out all across the board, then a simple, flat cash back might be beneficial. Next, look at how you plan to redeem your points. Even if it's cash back, think about where that cash is going to go. And then if it's rewards, make sure that you calculate out a universal value so you can easily compare the options. Finally, consider fees and interest rates. Fees can quickly diminish or eliminate the value that comes with points and rewards. And interest can be especially costly if you carry a balance from month to month. Now that we went over the basics of how to choose a credit card, you can apply it to your own situation. Are you getting the most bang for your buck with your current credit cards? And how do new cards that you're exploring compare when you're using this type of framework? As you explore your options, feel free to check out the SoFi credit card. You can earn 2% unlimited cash back when you redeem it to save, invest, or pay down an eligible SoFi loan. You can even redeem it directly into cryptocurrency with your SoFi Invest account.